Hi everyone, this is Heidi with Heidi and Franny's Garage. I want to talk to you today about strategic driving. I'd like to get some tricks and tips from you all as my viewers on things that you do. I think that it would be great to get a conversation going in the comments below about what you do when you commute to work or when you have a long drive ahead of you. Strategic driving isn't about driving fast, it's about driving smart. And I'd say, I swear, about 9 times out of 10, if Franny and I are in 2 separate cars, she beats me every time because she's super intelligent about how she goes about driving in different conditions. I want to talk to you about some of the things that I do, and I'd love to get your input. There's an F-type Jag in front of me, isn't that pretty? I knew it was something and I couldn't see it until I was close up to it. So one of the things that's important, especially if the car in front of you, as in this car, is going at a decent pace, is to keep up with that car. It's important to close the gap, and you don't want to tailgate by any means, but you also don't want to leave such a large gap that it allows somebody to get in front of you, because at any time it could be a really slow concrete truck or some other car that could get in front of you that's really, really slow. The second thing that I do is if I'm coming into a road, like right now, we're splitting off and we're going into 2 lanes, and I have the option of getting in the right lane or in the left lane. Now, in this case, I've got the same number of cars, one car that's next to me on the right, one that's on the left. And so, more than likely, the Sonata is probably going to be the faster car, but I'm in the left lane already, so I'm just going to stay here. But a lot of times I will gauge the kind of car that's going to be in front of me. My strategic driving when it comes to the cars is like if there's an Audi or a BMW, those are going to take off pretty fast. Trucks are going to be really slow off the line, but then a lot of times a truck will drive pretty quickly once they get going. In this case, I generally like to stay in the left lane, although I'm passing on the right now because that car is not moving. But I tend to stay in the left lane for this because when I come into Boulder, there are a lot of people who turn right the first few blocks off of the right lane, and I see traffic stopping and holding up the cars in the right lane. And a lot of times it's not that they don't want to turn right away, it's that there'll be a pedestrian walking at the intersection or something and they will not be able to turn right away. This is another thing that happens is this road goes from 2 lanes to 3 lanes, and a lot of these cars turn off to the right. And if I'm really being smart about it, I'll go in the far right lane as soon as I get through the light. The issue right now with the far right lane is there's a very bad pothole. So once I'm past the pothole, I will probably get over. There's the pothole, really bad. I can get over it any time now. So I try to give myself enough room too to be able to see the road. When I talk about strategic driving, it's also talking about keeping your car safe, and I watch for obstacles in the road constantly. There's just so much stuff in the road, and I don't want to get a flat tire. I don't want to damage my rims or anything else. So I try to give myself plenty of room between myself and the other car. I like to gauge the lights that are in front of me. If they're green, I try to step on it. I would prefer to reach that light as it's still green. This is a street that can be a little bit scary, and so I place myself in the left lane. Now, the left lane is a problem because people turn left. So I like to keep plenty of cars in front of me so I can gauge whether or not somebody's going to turn left from this lane and block every car behind them. The reason why I don't like to be in the right lane on this street is, one, there's a lot of side traffic that feeds in, and then here's the situation coming up with the bus. And here are the people that are trying to get over and miss the bus because they haven't planned it well enough or whatever. This is constantly happening, and now we have somebody that's thinking about turning left. I don't know. So, and then there's the bus again. Like I said, I try to give myself plenty of room. That was pretty good, actually, I have to say. All those cars either were far enough away from the bus that they didn't dart over, they planned well. I was far back enough to allow them room to get in. Being right next to somebody when that happens is really bad. One of the other things that I gauge is this light, and if this light is red, then I turn on a side street, which I'm going to do right now because I don't know when it's going to change. And plus there's a fire engine and everything else. So that's another way, is a lot of people go straight, and so they block the right-hand turn lane that direction. And so I will look at that light, see if it's green. If it's green and there's hardly any cars in front of me, then I'll go that direction. Otherwise, I'll end up going this way, which is a slightly slower speed, but generally the better way to go, so that I don't have to sit there and wait for the light to change. Let's see, what else can I tell you about strategic driving? Besides planning your route, knowing your route, and being smart about your route. Before you're going to turn, plan your trip. Get over if you know you're going to turn in a few blocks. I know that I'm going to turn right in a few blocks, so I want to get over. I mean, waiting till the last minute is never that smart, and can put you and other drivers at risk. So I try to get over in the next lane and think it out. This is a case where I have to turn very quickly, so I very quickly get over. Be alert, pay attention. One of the things that I think is a really good strategic driving move is to, if you haven't taken a motorcycle driving class, is to take one of those. It's funny, I mean, learning how to drive a motorcycle really teaches you how to scan and do things that you may not normally have learned in a particular driving ed class. It teaches you, I mean, you're vulnerable when you're a motorcycle rider. And so, you know, Franny and I used to ride scooters a lot when we lived in downtown Denver, and I really feel that having the motorcycle license teaches you more about approaching intersections, watching to see what's going on with cars, just sort of scanning and doing things that normally as a car driver you may not worry about so much, but when you're vulnerable into the open as you are on a motorcycle, it might make a huge difference to you. So I think that the motorcycle training is a great thing. So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't. And in the meantime, safe travels, and we'll see you soon. Bye.